Welcome to Structural Analysis 2 video series, unit number 4, Stiffness Method. Lecture outline, numerical problem on continuous beam, part 2nd. Analyze the two-span continuous beam shown in figure by stiffness method. Draw bending moment diagram and shear force diagram. So this is a part of a previous video, and we was discussed the problem statement. Also, we gone through the degree of kinematic indeterminacy or degree of freedom. So in the present case, 2 degree of freedom, theta b and theta c rotation, and we assume that anticlockwise moment or rotation positive, and also we assign the coordinate direction to the unknown displacement. Let's call it as a d1, d2, and direction we assign as a anticlockwise positive. So these points which we were discussed in a previous video, also uh, we were gone through the external force or moment acting in the coordinate direction. So theta b and theta c are the uh, coordinate direction or coordinate. So in that direction there is no any external moment acting at b and c. So ad1 is equal to 0 and ad2 is equal to 0. Then we calculated the coordinate forces in the coordinate direction of restrained structures. We also from that we find out the ADL1 and ADL2. So at theta B and theta C, there are minus 33.33 and plus 5.63 acting when we consider the structure as restraint. So these two moment are acting in the coordinate direction of theta c, and for theta b, and for theta c minus 16.88, which is acting in the direction of theta c when the structure is restrained 1. Then we determine the stiffness matrix. So in the stiffness matrix, to determine it, our unknowns are 2. That's why matrix is of 2 by 2 size. Now we have to apply unit displacement along theta b, and due to that unit displacement, the forces develop at location 1 and 2. 1 means 1 and 2 indicate the unknown. So when applying the unit force at 1 and after applying unit force at 2, what type of a moment create, that we return in the form of a first column. Okay, so S11 and S21, this is 1. So first number indicate places of unknown, and second number indicate action. That means theta b is equal to 1. So for first unknown we applying the unit rotation. So that's why 1 stand there. So due to the unit rotation, we having a value 2.3 EI. There is rotation for the both span BA and BC. So you have to add rotation occurred on both span, and also S21 is the half rotation transfer toward the far end C, where our second unknown stand. So that gives us 0.75 EI. So these two will give us a column, first column of a matrix. So same way find out now second column of a matrix. So in this first one number 1 and 2 indicate the location of unknown, and second number 2 indicate that you have to apply the unit rotation for second unknown. Okay, so let's see, we just revise doing a revision. This already covered in video first. So now let's see. Here is our second unknown. This is again, let's write down first location 2. This is location 1. Now you are applying the unit force for second unknown. Okay, and second unknown means what? Unit force you are applying for second unknown, that is one unit rotation is there. So what happened to at place 1 due to the force applying to the second unknown? So force applying to the second unknown, what happened at the location of 2? So it gives us S22 and S12. So S12 is 0.75 EI and S22 is 1.5 EI. Okay, that means we will get the second column of a matrix. Okay, so up to this we were covered in the first video. Now this is the second part of a uh, previous problem. So after the formation of stiffness, your stiffness matrix, now put these all value in a superposition equation of equilibrium of forces. So AD is equal to ADL plus stiffness matrix into D. Now AD1 and AD2 are 0, ADL1, ADL2 are minus 27.7 and minus 16.88. Take out this EI outside. So our S11 is 2.30, S21 is 0.75, S21 is, this one is S12, S12. So S12 is 0.75, this is 2. So S22 is 1.5. Okay, and D1 is theta B and D2 is theta C. So after putting the values, uh, we we will get the two equation. Take this 27.7 toward the right hand side, so it become plus, and it's 2.30 into theta B plus 0.75 into theta C. And for second equation, take 16.88 toward the left hand side, so you will get positive sign 16.88, then 0.75 into theta B plus 1.5 into theta C, so you will get this EI taken outside. So after solving these two equation, we will get this one plus 10 divided by EI and D2, that means theta C, we will get 6.25 EI. Okay, then use this equation end moment and find out the end moment from the slope deflection equation. So first equation is for span AB. So end moment is MAB is equal to MFAB plus 4 EI by L into theta A plus 2 EI by L into theta B plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. So there is no any sinking or settlement at B. So this B or A, so this value will be, delta will be 0. So MAB is equal to MFAB is 33.33. Now no rotation, theta A will be a 0 because of the fixed end. So plus 2 EI by 5, theta B is 10 by EI plus minus 0. So we will get end moment 37.33 kilonewton meter. Now we find out end moment at B. So MFBA plus 4 EI by L into theta B plus 2 EI by L into theta A plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. Again delta will be 0 and theta A will be a 0. No settlement and A is a fixed end. So putting the value, MFBA is minus 33.33 plus 4 EI by 5, span is 5, theta B is 10 divided by EI. So is equal to minus 25.33 kilonewton meter. Then find out end moment for span BC. So MBC is equal to MFBC plus 4 EI by L into theta B plus 2 EI by L into theta C plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. Again, the no settlement, so delta will be 0, and theta B, now theta C will be there because rotation will be there at roller support. So putting the value, MFBC is 5.63. Now moment of inertia is 1.5 for span BC. So 4 into E into 1.5 I divided by 4 into 10 divided by EI plus 2E into 1.5 I divided by 4 into theta C is 6.25 divided by EI plus minus 0. So we will get 25.32 kilonewton meter. Same way, let's find out the end moment for the C. So MCB is equal to MFCB plus 4 EI by L theta C plus 2 EI by L theta B plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. Again, no sinking for at B and at C. So this delta will be 0. So put the other values. MFCB is minus 16.88 plus 4E into 1.5 I divided by 4 into 6.25 EI plus 2E into 1.5 I divided by 4 into 10 divided by EI plus minus 0. So we will get 0 value. That means at end C there is a simply supported end. So we know that for the simply supported end moment is always 0. Whether it is a roller support or hinge support, it will be a 0. So our answer come out 0. That means our calculations are correct one. Now draw the bending moment and shear force diagram. Now first let's find out the shear force. Now this is our loading diagram. Let's first consider reaction due to the given loading. So there is a UDL of 16 kilonewton per meter over the span AB of 5 meter. So 16 into 5 divided by 2, we will get 40 kilonewton force at each support. Now find out reaction at B and C. So take moment about B. So 30 into 3, let treat this as clockwise minus 30 into 3, and this RC will be there. Let's consider initially upward. So it will rotate about B in a anti-clockwise direction. So plus RC into span 4. So you will get this, and you will get this RC 22.5 kilonewton. By doing summation FY, you will get 7.5 kilonewton. So just by taking the moment about B or C, you will get one reaction. Once we will get the one reaction, then by doing the summation of Fy, we will get the other reaction. Okay. Now, uh, by using the end moment, find out the reactions uh, to required to balance the difference of a end moment. So end moment is, first end moment is 37.33 kilonewton meter. Second end moment is, this end moment is, I think clockwise 25.32. Let's check. 20, this one minus 25.33. So this end moment is clockwise minus, that's why. So take a difference between these two and divided by span. You will get reaction 2.40 kilonewton. Now show it at the maximum moment location. So here is the maximum moment location. So show it. Now how to show the arrow? Show the arrow up. So and at the far end, show the arrow down, and same magnitude you have to write down here. So why up? When it will rotate, it will get added here, and the value will be same, is equal to 37.33 that we will get. So they will balance and cancel each other. So to achieve that, you have to apply the couple in the opposite direction to this 37.33. Okay. Now for next span, BC span, the end moment is 25.32 kilonewton meter. So 35.32 kilonewton divided by this span 4 meter, you will get 6.33. So only moment at B, so we need the moment at far end C. So when the 6.33 will rotate, it will give that moment to us. So they will balance each other. So again the same way, first take this 25.32 divided by span, you will get the value 6.33. Now where it should be shown, it should be shown at the location of maximum moment. Now there is a question of arrow. So how to show the arrow? Arrow you have to show up. Why up? You have to show up. When it rotates, it will create the moment in a opposite direction to this 25.32 kilonewton meter. That's why you have to show up. If it is up, then far end you have to directly show in a downward direction with the same magnitude. Okay, so you will get reaction at for the BC due to the end moment. Now do the addition, that is reaction due to the load and reaction due to the moment. So 40 plus 40 up plus 2.40 up, you will get 42.40 kilonewton, plus 40 minus 2.40, you will get 37.60 kilonewton, plus 7.5 plus 6.33, you will get 13.83 kilonewton, plus 22.5 kilonewton minus downward minus 6.33, you will get plus 16.17 kilonewton upward. So these are the reaction or shear force at for of a AB and BC span. Now draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. So at A, the shear force is 42.40 kilonewtons. So move up, then there is a UDL. So it will be in a line form. 40 plus 42.40 minus 16 into 5, you will get 37.60 kilonewton. So minus 37.60 kilonewton plus the reaction here which we were calculated, or you may write down the directly. We know the shear force is 37.60 kilonewton and shear force for the either end is 13.83. So write down this value directly, 37.60 and 13.83 kilonewton. Then there is no any load, so up to 30, then again 30 is down, so minus 30 you have to do, 13.83 minus 30 you will get 16.17 kilonewton. Then again here is a reaction, so that minus 16.17 plus 16.17 you will get 0 at C. Okay, then now draw the bending moment diagram for the loading figure. So for UDL WL square by 8 you will get 50, and for a point load which is not symmetrical WAB by L you will get 22.5 kilonewton meter. And then the show the your end moment. First end moment is 37.33 kilonewton meter and the end moment at B is 25.32 kilonewton meter. Okay, then join with the line. Here the end moment is 0. Then the portion which is not overlap, that you have to make it hatch. Okay, so this is superimpose bending moment diagram. So this bending moment we explained in a detail in a unit number 1, 2. Okay, so same problem we are taken for the slope deflection method, then your moment distribution method. Okay, so this bending moment and shear force diagram remain same for all problems because our problems are same, just we change the method. Okay, okay, thank you.